So differentiating between temporal sadness, grief, and depression is actually very important, because when you know the difference, you will be able to get help when you most need it. Hola! Welcome back to my channel, Becca Diaries. My name is Becca and I film from Kaduna, Nigeria. Thank you so much to all my 2,000 plus subscribers, for all of you who always watch, drop comment, and share with others. I love you. Do know that I love you every day. Don't forget that in a hurry. Today is about mental health a lot. We will be talking about depression, causes, symptoms, how to prevent it, all of it. Honestly, we need to talk about this. Let's have a conversation. Let's talk about this. And I think most importantly, we need to talk about the daily habits that we can start cultivating now to prevent depression at the long run. Now, before we delve into this, I would love that you use the comment section to respond to this question. What advice will you give a friend that is currently having a problem with his or her mental health? So if you have a friend that you know is about to fall into depression or is going through this depressive episodes, what advice will you give currently and going forward? Please use the comment section to respond to this. First, depression, as in major depressive disorder, is a common and serious medical illness that negatively affects how you feel, the way you think, and how you act, leading to feelings of sadness and or a loss of interest in activities you once enjoyed. Ultimately, it can decrease your ability to function at home and at work. Next, how do you know you're depressed? How do you know you're suffering from depression, as in the medical condition, the mental health issue, not just the day you feel just sad, a normal, because people feel sad and it's part of life to feel sad, sometimes to feel unhappy because of an occurrence. It's normal to feel sad, right? And sometimes we refer to feeling sad as depressed. Oh, I feel depressed today. But that doesn't necessarily mean that you are suffering from depression. I don't know if you get it. So now, the medical condition, the mental health issue that is referred to as depression, the common code of mental health that we call depression, can be identified through the following symptoms. Feeling very sad, hopeless, and extremely worried. Feeling very worthless, not able to make meaning out of life anymore. Not being able to enjoy the things you once enjoyed, the things that once gave you joy. Being easily irritated and frustrated at the slightest provocation. Eating too much or too little compared to how you used to eat before now. Then changes in how much you sleep. We've read and we've experienced that when people are depressed, when they have this medical condition and they are depressed, they actually do not sleep. So they are awake for the bigger chunk of the night or day. So they have the condition called insomnia. Also, when someone is depressed, they have physical conditions like headaches, stomach aches, and sexual dysfunction. And the final part is when they actually have a feeling of hurting themselves. You have that feeling of hurting yourself or killing yourself. Then you become suicidal. That is the ultimate symptom of someone who is depressed. Depression can be mild or severe, and it can be brief or long-lasting. It's important to get help right away. Honestly, without treatment, depression can become worse increase your chance of other health conditions, return even after you start to feel better, lead to self-harm or death. So, recently, we had the story of an accomplished accountant in Lagos who committed suicide. So, Naji, Inazwa. Okay. So I have to drive out of this place now. Guys, we read the story of the accountant in Lagos who recently committed suicide. Her neighbors and security man actually confirmed that she had series of psychotic episodes where she had this mental breakdown and she'd just be walking around the house aimlessly, and when you try stop her, she wouldn't answer you, and that before her father died, the father do come around to take care of her. The father would come take her to the hospital, ensure she takes her drugs. And there was also a time that her younger brother was living with her. When the younger brother got married, he left to go and start his own family, and that was how she started living all by herself, and of course this was not the first time she's attempting suicide until she got successful this time around, and she's gone, she's no more, all tied to depression. So it's really important that we actually look out for our loved ones and that we also take care of ourselves, and most importantly prevent these episodes, manage them, because if we do not get treated by using drugs or by psychotherapy or by self-help, if we do not do these things, even when the depressive episodes go away, they will come back in no time at all, because you never really treated them, honestly, because you never really paid attention. It wasn't deliberate. You didn't get to treat them. There was this other young man too who was saved just a few days ago at the Lagos Third Mainland Bridge. He was about to jump over. Some people saved him and he was handed over to the police. Now a lot of people were complaining, they were shouting on the internet, oh, why would you save someone from wanting to kill himself? Then what you do next is to hand him over to the police. But I just want to inform you that suicide is still a criminal act in Nigeria. So it means if you are caught trying to kill yourself, you can be jailed. You will be arrested. You can be jailed. When it comes to suicide rates, Nigeria remains the leading country in the African region, followed by Ethiopia and South Africa, respectively. In the world, the top 5 countries were being led by India, followed by China, then America, the Russian Federation, and Japan, with Nigeria being the 6th highest globally. Honestly, there's no day you go online and that you won't see one suicide thing or another. It's in itself, it is depressing. In itself, it is depressing. I don't want to match this lizard. Why are you standing on the road? Hope I didn't kill it. Then there goes the story of the former Miss USA. Do you remember Chesley Christ? The former Miss USA, the one who won Miss USA in 2019. She committed suicide this year, January 30th this year. She jumped from the last floor of her building. Is it 29th floor or something? She jumped down. What she had, for someone like Chesley Chris, what she had was high functioning depression. And how high functioning depression works is the fact that these people live normal lives. You can't even see them sad. They are happy. I mean, you see them as happy people. They smile, they laugh, they hang out with friends, they make calls, receive your calls, they even listen to your own troubles and give you advice. But deep down them, there is this sense of worthlessness, of unfulfillment, even when they are high achievers and they are accomplished. That's how having high functioning depression works, and that was what Chesley had. I remember listening to an interview her mother gave, and the last note she left for her mother, she said she just had to go because she doesn't feel she belongs here, because she's always sad. So what is the point? That she feels she's weighed down by this hopelessness, and there is no meaning in life for her anymore, and there is no point when she continues to be here, and she has no reason to open her eyes every morning. So she had to leave. That's how much depression can make someone feel. And it's a mental illness, it's a medical condition, and we need to pay attention to it. So differentiating between temporal sadness, grief, and depression is actually very important, because when you know the difference, you will be able to get help when you most need it. So to determine whether you have clinical depression, you need to visit the hospital. We say people can feel sad from time to time, and that doesn't mean you are actually depressed. You can be certain to have depression when the symptoms that we have mentioned, and even more that we didn't cover, have persisted for 2 weeks and more. But for you to be certain about this, you need to visit the hospital, for you to be sure that this is clinical depression, that is actual depression, not just you being sad from time to time over that period of time. You need to actually see a doctor. So we can actually help prevent depression from happening at all or from reoccurring by doing the following things. 1, get enough sleep. There is actually a strong correlation between you having insomnia, not having enough sleep, and depression, because over time when you do not sleep, your brain is overworked, and it will get to the point where you are actually overstressed and you can't even remember things, you can't concentrate, you'll be unhappy, and it just ultimately leads to depression. So ensure that you get enough sleep. I think in a day we are supposed to sleep for at least 6 hours. We should get between 6 to 8 hours a day. So at the very least, sleep for 6 hours a day. Ensure you get enough. Also, you should pray. What prayer does? It puts you in a mood that you're talking to a supernatural being who can see more than you can see and can help you. And there's a way it actually affects your psyche, that help is coming, that a miracle can come, and that you can actually get help, and that you're putting all your trust into a supernatural being, a being that is powerful than you can ever be. So it sort of help. It helps when you are a spiritual person. If you can pray, then do it. If you are not a spiritual person, even if you are a spiritual person, you can also do meditation hand in hand. People do yoga, some just sit down and just do some sort of meditation. You just do concentration exercises, you meditate, you think about things in some quietness. Some take a walk, they just walk through the woods, they just walk down in the morning, just to to detoxify whatever is going on in their system, and get ready for the day. I think that also helps. Next is keeping someone close. So it could be a friend, you can have a close friend, or a family member that you're keeping close. This means that if anything happens to you, if you're feeling anything, some strange thing in your body different from what you used to be, different from what you always have known yourself to be, then you have somebody that you can talk to. Studies have shown that people that have close friends or people they can always talk to suffer depression less. But people that don't have close friends, they don't have allies, they don't have family members that they can talk to, actually suffer depression. They suffer from depression more. They are more likely to suffer from depression. So have friends. Eating a healthy diet is good to eat well. It's been mentioned that you can have vitamins and vegetables. Ensure you have a balanced diet, basically. And like I said, you can do exercises, meditation, through yoga, and you can do exercises. You don't have to go to the gym. You can do exercises in your house and you will be fine. So there are things you can actually do in your house, exercises you can do in your house, and it will just help you, get into the right mind frame, to the right mind space. Taking deep breath. Ensure you take deep breaths whenever you're triggered. So you come across your trigger, learn to actually pause and take deep breaths. Just take the air in, just take it in and breathe out. Breathe in and breathe out for a number of times. Just repeat it, and you see that you will be calmer than you were. It's good for you, it's good for your health, it's good for your system. Don't just freak out. I know sometimes you don't get to control these things, but with time, when you practice the act of actually breathing in and out, I think it will get better. Also, learn to say positive things to yourself. It might be words of affirmation in the morning, or if you're someone who is that spiritual that you can declare, can just speak life into your day, into your week, into your month, into your year and years ahead of you. Please do it. It helps. Please stay away from your triggers. Some people are their triggers. Some people, social media is their trigger, or some kind of news on social media. If you can block the news, block it. If the trends on Twitter is your trigger, stay away from Twitter. If social media is your trigger, just stay away from your trigger, from time to time. Stay away from it as much as possible. Try to avoid your trigger. Get up, get dressed, and be clean. It is important. In fact, do you know that when you are in a clean environment and you yourself, you are dressed and you are clean, sparkling clean, you set yourself up for a good thing. It's actually cool, it's actually a good thing to get clean and get dressed. There is something it does, for you. It puts you in a better place. Try it. Use some outside time. It's not every time you lock yourself in the house. You are in the house every time. In your room, you do not go out. You don't hang out with friends. You don't hang out by yourself. Nothing. I do not have a lot of friends that I want to hang out with. I don't even have the luxury of time. But I hang out by myself. I go out, do some outside time. Sometimes I just take a walk. Let's say you can't hang out, you can't take a walk. Open your window and just breathe in the fresh air. It works. Show gratitude. Learn to show gratitude. You can show gratitude by calling your friends up, your family members up, to just tell them the good things they have done for you. You can journal it. Just write out, the good things you appreciate about your life, about people around you. Also, you can pray. If you're a spiritual person, pray to God, or just speak into the universe. Just be appreciative. There is something that it does for you. Try it and come back to thank me later. What other item would you like to add to this list? What are the things we can do to prevent, our depression? Please do let me know. Add yours. Use the comment section now. Remember, if you have symptoms of depression, visit the hospital. They can give you an accurate diagnosis, refer you to a specialist, or suggest treatment options. If you or someone you know is thinking of hurting themselves or taking their own lives, go to the emergency department of your hospital. Contact a healthcare provider. Speak to a trusted friend, family member, or spiritual leader. Never forget to reach out to people. We all are going through a lot than we can ever say. So please never forget to reach out to people. Reach out to people, just to know how they're faring. Sometimes it's just that call, that text, whatever message you have sent to them that will just make people feel better, feel, happier again. And you too, if you're going through some episodes, please do not hesitate to reach out. Reach out to me. I am available. Reach out to your friends. Reach out to loved ones, your family, your spiritual leader. Just reach out, honestly. Enough of bottling up. Reach out to someone you actually can trust. Again, what is your advice for a friend that is going through depression at this point? Someone going through this mental health issues. What is your advice right now? I want to know. Thank you for watching this. I really do appreciate that you stayed till this very end. Do let me know what you think about this video in the comment section. Do let me know what other video you want to see, or what video you specifically want to see next. Once again, I do appreciate you. I love you. Till next time, be good.